Hello everybody. So here we are in the last two lessons of the semester. First and foremost, España, right here, world champions, right there. From now on, when Spain plays soccer, is the shield is gonna have right here is gonna have a golden star. It's gonna symbolize that we won the World Cup once. Brazil's got 5 stars. Argentina's got 2. France got 1. So Spain gets 1 now, right there. I think I'm gonna make a lot of videos with this share on from now on. Anyway, so here we are in the last two chapters for the semester, and in actuality they're sort of short and easy, and a bunch of what you're gonna read we have discussed in class repeatedly, a lot of it. So, for instance, chapter 8 is gonna mention standardized assessment, which for us is going to mean larger scale, high stakes assessments like CSAP, SELA, and such. And the activity that you're going to do online is going to deal with accommodations, which we also covered in chapter 7. So it's a lot of the same thing. Hopefully, some of these concepts are really solidifying in your brain, and you're starting to understand them better. You know what is an assessment, what's a test, and what's an evaluation, which also brings us to the last chapter of the book, chapter 10, the last chapter of the semester, where you're going to have the portfolio assessments that are going to allow you to have a more holistic, comprehensive evaluation of your students by having many points of references about or concerning their performance or their learning. So it all comes together at the very end, classroom learning strategies, classroom assessments, rubrics, samples, everything comes together in this type of assessment portfolios that will give you a holistic perception on your students. And as I was mentioning in chapter 9 is about the larger scale assessments and accommodations that are used in the assessments, as we discussed in class for chapter 7. Glossaries and some of the accommodations that really do not apply to ELLs are accommodations that have been historically taken from the special education paradigm, and they have been freely applied to English language learners. And really, in all honesty, at this point in the semester, with all the discussions we have done and the class periods that we have met, I don't think you're going to have a lot of new information in the last 2 chapters. You're going to read it, and hopefully it will serve as a review, summative, sum up kind of review kind of thing that will maybe tie up some loose ends that you may have. So, from this end, on my perspective, I already told you what I wanted to say, about the accommodations and the larger scale assessments. I think you have heard me already repeatedly say some of the things, about validity and reliability with the standardized assessments, and how they are a discrete. They provide information about the student on a discrete point in their history. In their learning processes. So sure, we can count it. We can count it as one component of the portfolio assessment. But your classroom's observations, informal notes, formal notes, interviews, evaluations, all that should have an equal or more weight, or just be extra in your overall assessment and evaluation of your students. Not only ELLs. Remember that all these practices work perfectly for everybody. Perhaps in the issues with accommodations and standardized assessment, if any of you wants to touch, because in the discussion, the questions that you're going to be dealing with is like, why are accommodations important for ELLs? And as you know, there are some pragmatic, philosophical issues surrounding the use of accommodations and easing down or making easier access to passing the test to certain students by giving them accommodations. They violate, by nature, accommodations violate standardization. Standardization is based on the principle that everybody gets the same shot, an equal shot. And so now you start, well, but if you're this type of student, we're going to do this for you. If you're this type of student, we're going to do this other thing for you. And a lot of people are like, well, wait a minute, that breaks up the whole point of standardization. So maybe some of you want to approach what we addressed in class earlier, equality and equity. Those are 2 very different concepts. So maybe you wanna discuss them and and see okay, and see if it's a little more clear, if it's clearer by you discussing it. So anyway, that's all I really had to say. Been a pleasure of a semester. I really enjoyed being with you, learning with you this class. Once again, I become wiser and wiser every time I teach it more. So next semester it'll be better. There'll be another cohort that will enjoy the new knowledge better. And look forward to seeing you all in your presentations. Remember that we decided that I believe there are 8 groups, and we decided 15 to 20 minutes total maximum, even if your group is planning on having Q&A, question and answers from your classmates, or discussion points. Even if you are planning on having a section in your presentation, it cannot exceed 20 minutes or will be there forever. So prepare your presentations, and do let me know if you have any questions. Adios.